Hi guys, welcome back to my XVS guide. Now I'm gonna review Esther. So let's start from her stats. Like you can see that her stats boost is pretty decent. It's even better than lots of Neo Vision Awakened characters. She also gets 500 static attack, which is amazing. However, don't think she can take on NVA or even real Neo Vision characters, because you need to remember that her base stats is lower, which gonna affect the boost from passive or buff. She cannot equip Vision card either. The best thing about her passives are 150% machine and stone killers. If you want to make her into provoker, you may be able to do so, since she has 30% physical evasion and provoking ability. I think that's all you need to know about her stats and passives. Now let's talk about abilities. First, let's talk about what's good. She has access to 130% Thunder in Peril. Sure, her damage is not as great as real Neo Vision, but with this 130% in Peril, she can increase your party damage. And remember, she can also chain with other characters. It also gives her 5 physical evasion, so you can combine it with her AoE physical or provoking ability. Her bolting strike deals nice damage, 70 times and 90 times after using combat overdrive. So yes, it is above average. She also able to chain with absolute mirror of equity, but they deal lower damage. Okay, for limit burst, it is chainable with Aurel Ray. This limit burst also deal nice damage, 110 times base damage, and with minimum 300% limit burst damage, 150% from Grandis and 150% from her passive, you deal 440 times damage, which is about the same damage modifier you get from Neo Vision characters. The things I don't like from her are, first, she has access to 75% breaks for all stats. Yes, 75% are good and usable, but if you already have like Lorraine or 80 to 90% breakers, I don't think this is any good for your party. After all, we starting to live or even already left the 75% meta. Second, she has physical cover and provoke, which is nice for emergency use, but they are too short if you want to make her a multi-role character, because the AoE cover only lasts for 1 turn and the provoke only lasts 2 turns. Because of those 2 reasons, I think she is not a good multi-role characters compared to Shadow, Lorraine, and other Neo Vision characters. Now, for rotation, her most powerful attack is her limit burst, so you want to use that as often as possible. On the first turn, you want to use Shock Embrace for that awesome 130% Thunder in Peril, and imbue yourself with Thunder element. Shock and all here useful for the 150% limit burst damage and yes, 20% thunder damage boost. And the third action you need to pick depends on your situation. If you don't have breaker, then use bolting strike to get 80% defense break. But if you already have breaker or better breaker, then I think it's better to use combat overdrive, okay, to get 250% attack boost and bolting strike damage boost. I know you already get 250% attack boost from your passive for the first 3 turns, but do it for bolting strike damage increase, because on the second turn you will use your limit burst and gonna deplete your limit burst gauge. After that, on the third turn, you want to use triple bolting strike That's why you want to use combat overdrive on the first turn, okay, to make your bolting strike deal high damage. So that's all about her abilities. Now let's talk about equipment. So for equipment, you want to max her limit burst damage boost passive, which won't be that hard since her Thrustmaster reward is already awesome to increase limit burst damage, and also she already has decent stats boost for attack and true double hand stats, so you have easier time to gear her for limit burst damage. After that, like usual, focus on killers, especially stone and machine. She is made to kill those enemies type. That's all about equipment. My conclusion for Esther: she is one of the best 7 stars character in the game, but what for? That's really my question, okay? We also already have the likes of Sakura of the Delta Star, which is also really good on lightning element, but she is a magical attacker. And remember, upcoming Crown Prince Noctis Revamp and Esther damage modifier are really good, like Sakura of the Delta Star, but again, at the end, those nice numbers got bottlenecked by her lower stats than Neo Vision characters. For Sakura case, we can use Mastermind Son to take advantage of those nice 200% killers, so your party get benefit and gonna improve your damage really good, okay? But for Esther, nothing like that, right? What I want to say is, if you already have her, then it is nice to have, but don't force yourself to get her. Luckily, she is on the same banner as Melia, so yes, you probably get her if you want to get Melia. Okay, don't get me wrong, she is not bad. She can still be used for dark vision when you fight against stone and machine. But again, it's maybe better to give her STMR to Neo Vision characters with stone and machine killers and use them instead of her. Okay, talking about STMR, I can say that both Thrustmaster reward and STMR are pretty good. That's another reason to get her. I mean, don't force yourself, but if you get one Esther on the future, then don't worry, okay? Her Thrustmaster reward and STMR are perfectly usable. And yes, for the STMR, it is very nice, but again, maybe if you fight against the enemy stone or machine, you want to equip this on other characters instead of using her. Okay, so that's all I want to talk about Esther. Thank you very much for watching. Please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel for more Final Fantasy Brave X Fuse Guide. Bye bye guys.